Hey everybody, it's Emily, the Crazy Worm Lady. I'm here today with the Worm Factory 360 for an update. Hoping to see a reduction in the number of fruit flies that I think we may have created in this bin. And I am seeing a few, which is not good. I'm actually seeing quite a few. Oh, guys. Not good. I was hoping to be able to feed this bin today, but if this is still an issue, I have to do something about it. So I have another idea, but first we'll take a peek and see how they're doing. Then I'm going to have to set up a fruit fly trap. These look more like fungus gnats than fruit flies, but regardless, we'll do something about it. But the worms are doing just fine in here. The funny thing is I've been in here quite a bit and I hadn't seen any of the flies, so the problem is probably that they're just proliferating in this upper bedding area. And then of course I disturbed them and now they're all flying around. But there's like no food left in here at all. Although we didn't really feed, we just gave coffee grounds last week if I recall. But now I have a fly in my hair, I think. I can hear it. Gross. The moisture feels fine. A hair dry, but that's to be expected since we had so much dry bedding in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of turn this tray up real good. Dig a little pit in the middle that I'm going to feed them in, and I'm actually going to add an empty tray on top of this one that I'm going to fill with just bedding and some neem cake to see if we can kind of stop this problem. So let me do that and I'll be back with you guys in a minute. Alright guys, so I came up with what I think is an even better solution. So I dug a big trench here and I am going to give a feeding. Got a bell pepper. I've got some celery, a jalapeno, and I have a few tea bags here. I'm going to add just a small handful of bedding because there's a ton of bedding in here. And I'm going to top it off with my dry mix, if I can see where I put it. Thought I had it right here, but I don't see it. Let me grab it real quick and we will add some of the dry mix, and then we're actually going to take our bottom tray and put it on top. Alright guys, so a lot of my dry mix I'm going to put all the way around here. I'll link what I put in it below. But it has neem cake, diatomaceous earth, kelp meal, and oyster shell. And then what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take the bottom tray off of this system. So we're going to go down to this tray here. No, I'm sorry, this tray down here. And I'm going to move this up top because I was actually thinking of harvesting it soon anyway. And a lot of the problems and complaints about the worm factory is that the worms don't migrate up the way they're supposed to. And so I think by sandwiching this tray between a tray that's almost finished composting and one that's finished composting, it will prevent any sort of flies from being able to get in or get out. And the worms that I put in this from the bottom tray up top here, then they will probably migrate down into this tray since it has food. So in theory, that's what I want to try. So let me get this bottom tray and we will move it up here and we'll take one final look. Okay, so this is our bottom tray. And another reason it's nice to move it to the top is because it gets very compacted since it's on the bottom beneath all the other trays and they're pushing down on it, and the moisture from the other trays works its way down here, so it gets a little muddy. So it'll also give it a chance to dry out a bit because it'll have better airflow. So I'm just going to kind of mix this about a little bit, but as you can see there's like no food in here at all, and there's actually not very many worms. Usually I have more worms than this down here, but shockingly I don't right now, which is excellent. but there's still a handful that can migrate down for us. So while I'm down here, I figured I will also just take a peek in the sump area. I haven't looked down there in a while, and castings tend to find their way down there and clog it up so it doesn't breathe as well. So we'll take a quick peek down there as well. So this is what I mean when I say that the sump gets completely clogged up with castings. They fall through that bottom tray down here, and this is like perfect compost. I am just going to throw it into that bottom tray that I've now moved on top. But this is why it's a good idea if you have a worm factory to check this area. Not all the time, but definitely check it every month or so to make sure you can pull some of the castings out so the system breathes a bit better. But I'm not going to pull all of this out, but I am going to wipe at least a good amount of it out of here so that the air can move a bit easier, and that might help as well with our problem. So probably just leave it like this. I don't see any worms down here at the moment. Lovely, looks like probably spider webs down here on the bottom, but nothing concerning. So I'll put this all back together and we'll let it sit for another week, and hopefully having that tray filled with castings at the top will discourage the flies, and will also allow that bottom tray that I want to harvest to cure up a bit. So I think that's going to be it for today. So let me know what you think. Drop those comments below. Like this video, subscribe if you'd like some more content from me, and I'll be back with you guys real soon for another update.